Short swords are some of the most underwhelming weapons in Terraria. With blades that rain stars down from the sky, and spell tomes that can, how do I say this? Shower enemies in gold, it's clear that there's also a fair bit of fun to be had with these weapons as well. But what if you did use short swords? With only a small handful in the game, can you beat Prehardmode with them? That's what I'm here to find out. This challenge will be done on a medium-sized world on normal mode, but to add some spice to it, I selected medium core so all my items are dropped upon death. Real quick guys, if you enjoy the video, make sure to like and comment down below. And with all that out of the way, let's begin. I spawned in and looked fondly upon my first weapon, the copper short sword. Well, the weak copper short sword. Man, it already feels like Terraria really doesn't want me to do this challenge. I grabbed my axe and shook every tree I could. I was hoping for some early game fruit to boost my stats even for a little bit. I also wouldn't have minded the sugar glider pit. Before I even left the forest, I built a few houses for NPCs. I didn't want to recall back up here during the night like I always do and have to defend against waves of monsters. Pretty soon I found myself in the desert. I got a comment in my last video that at least one pyramid spawns in every world. So armed with that knowledge, once I saw the hill of sand, I decided I might as well check it out. And wouldn't you know it, pyramid located. Locked away inside was a sandstorm in a bottle. The deeper I ventured down below, the higher the danger rose. And marble biomes can be pretty dangerous for new characters. The javelins the hoplites throw can't be overlooked. But a marble biome was exactly what I was hoping to find. Hoplites drop a little item called the Gladius. And would you look at that, it's a short sword. If you've never heard or seen this weapon, it's the best short sword in the game. While the Tragic Umbrella does the same damage and allows slow fall, the Gladius has a ridiculously fast attack speed, making it very valuable to me in this challenge. So without wasting much time, I began making a hole that once I lured hoplites in, they couldn't jump out of. Not long after, I was actually able to snag my first piece of armor, the Gladiator leggings. After equipping them, I noticed a mushroom biome off to the side. Knowing how often gold chests and life crystals can spawn there, I mined my way over. Instead, I found a couple veins of tungsten ore. Normally I wouldn't take the time of day to mine it, but with it, I could craft the tungsten short sword. So once that was crafted, I made my way back down to the marble depths. But it actually looks like someone beat me to it. I had 25 gold coins from the pyramid, so I was hoping he would sell something useful. I ended up buying an umbrella to protect against high falls, and some health potions. It's always good to stay stocked up, especially down here. I kept farming the hoplites, and soon enough, the Gladius was mine. I decided to test out my new weapon on some foes from the far reaches of the jungle. While exploring there, I was actually able to find some feral claws. Extra melee speed for this already quick weapon? Don't mind if I do. I also located a beehive. At least I don't need to search for one later. My loot from the jungle also included a gravitation potion. So down the hatch it went, and up in the sky I did. The only thing I got worth noting was the shiny red balloon. Call me a dwarf cause I love the caves. Just kidding, I'm not a big fan. Just here for the rest of the gladiator armor. In the end I got 4 gladiator leggings, 2 gladiator helmets, and 3 gladises? Glades? Whatever. 3 swords before I got the breastplate. I was finally able to secure the entire set, and with that I was immune to knockback. A pretty interesting set bonus, but one I won't really complain about. So with full armor, I decided it was time to explore my world. So I braved the harsh winter winds and took shelter in the underground. I spent some time looking around for some ice skates. It would be nice to have them, since I already have the items for the lightning boots, minus the rocket boots. It took a bit, but I was finally able to find a pair of ice skates. I also grabbed a few life crystals down there too. I am become 320 health. With my armor, weapon, and health at a good spot, I waited until nightfall and summoned the optical menace, the Eye of Cthulhu. And of course a blood moon rose the night I fight my first boss. The enemies shouldn't really be able to bother me much on my platform though. Fighting the Eye was easy enough. All I pretty much had to do was walk forward and poke my stick backwards at him. I was able to turn him to phase 2 close enough to my platform so I could attack for some big damage. And before long, the only eyes alive were mine. Oh, and I guess the other enemies and the NPCs. The eyeball is defeated, okay? The rest of the night I farmed blood moon enemies hoping for a shark tooth necklace, but instead only got some bloody tears. During the day I expanded my town to allow 3 more NPCs to move in. Then I began probably my favorite pre-hard mode activity, Elevator. I got pretty far down but ultimately was stopped by a pool of lava, so I went back HOME. And went to challenge the EATEROFWORLDS. Taking some basic potions with me, I smashed the shadow orbs I needed and began the fight. This was way easier than I expected it to be. I mainly just stood in one spot and let him dig straight to me. And being immune to knockback was just crazy useful during this. After chipping away at it for a few minutes, I took this vile beast down. And as I was on my way to smash some more orbs, I actually ended up getting some ancient shadow greaves. One less piece I had to craft, and more demonite I could sell. So after killing the Eater of Worlds once more, I went home and became one with the shadows in my new shadow armor. With my swagger at an all-time high, I grabbed some Mystic Brews and went to the dungeon. I was going to slay Skeletron. I was pretty confident, so all I did was build a small bridge and I began the fight. I took on this fight with the tactic that I'm planning on using for the Wall of Flesh, walking slowly in front of the boss and hitting backwards. I also played around with just letting myself get hit to inflict more damage. Anyway, after a quick battle, the skeleton was slain. Time for the dungeon dive. I'm definitely a lot more scared than normal here. I always end up dying to the spikes and get hit by the dart traps down here, so I had to play it pretty safe. I was lucky enough to end up spotting the bound mechanic and bought myself the mechanical lens. Seeing where traps are would greatly increase my survival chance, so it was an easy purchase. If I combined all my available accessories together, I would have 2 open accessory slots, so I needed to start thinking of what I want to equip later. A pretty clear choice is the Cobalt Shield, so I began cracking open these golden chests and nope, not that either. There we go, Cobalt Shield acquired. I also kept an eye out for the Shadow Key. The potions from Shadow Chests in Hell can't be refused. Mainly the Life Force potion. I still hadn't been invaded by goblins, so I grabbed a water candle and went to the edge of my world, and began farming the Goblin SCOUTS. I ended up staying there a bit longer to try and get a natural King Slime spawn, but unfortunately it never ended up happening. Once I arrived home, I weaved together the Goblin Battle Standard and prepared my mind for the bloody battle that was upon me. With night creeping closer, I summoned the goblins. This will be a true blood moon. Get it? Because blood moon, and it's nighttime and blood moons happen. It wasn't too bad. I expected to get lower health than I did, but hey, I'll never refuse an easy invasion. As soon as I defeated those pesky beasts, I dove underground and searched for that little stinker. My nose picked up on his goblin scent and I was able to locate him and purchase his wares. After I bought the rocket boots, I was able to craft up to the frostbark boots. After I slid on my new frost Jordans, I finished the dig to hell. While I was here, I mined all the hellstone I'd ever need. Luckily, I don't need much. Since I'm only making armor, I don't need to worry about getting some for the volcano or molten pickaxe. As soon as I got home, I went to my anvil and smithed some molten hot protection. I decided it was time to go fight the Queen Bee next. If you saw me beat Terraria with Waffles Iron last time, then you know why I need to beat the Queen Bee. So I made my way to the beehive I spotted earlier, built a small arena, and began the fight. Overall, it wasn't too bad. All I really had to do was wait for Queen Bee to stop and spawn in her smaller bees. That's when I could jump up there for some real damage. And before long, the ruler of the jungle was defeated. Now with the Witch Doctor ready to move in, I went home and built some more NPC homes. I got interrupted though by a blood moon. This was actually a good thing since I still wanted the shark tooth necklace. I also got a honeycomb from Queen Bee so I could combine the two. After not too long, I was able to get it, and that's my last accessory. As soon as I saw the long-awaited Witch Doctor, I made my way over and bought an imbuing station. I wasn't sure if the Wall of Flesh could be set on fire for obvious reasons, so I made a flask of poison to give myself just a bit more firepower. Or well, should I say poison power? I still wasn't at max life yet, so I delved into the underground and looked around for spare life crystals. Okay, so all I need to do before fighting the Wall of Flesh was build the bridge. So here's the entire bridge in about 8 seconds. And once the bridge was done, I went to grab some buffs, delved back down, and threw my guide voodoo doll in the boiling lava below. To show you guys how powerful short swords are, here's my fight against the Wall of Flesh. And just like that, the Wall of Flesh and this challenge are over. But I still have one thing left to do, so I took some materials from my chest, along with my past armor and weapons, and began my victory haul. And just like that, my victory haul is finished. I know it's not something crazy like the waffle from last time, or even the UFO I made in my space weapons video, but I don't think it's bad. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and tell me what you thought about it in the comments below. Again, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.